मध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। इस समय हमारे साथ उपस्थित सभी दर्शकों और भक्तों का मैं प्रेम एवं आशीर्वाद सहित स्वागत करता हूँ। आज हम जीवन का तीसरा तत्व उत्तरदायित्व लेना कैसे आपके मन चाहे वास्तविकता का निर्माण कर सकता है उसके बारे में बात करेंगे। Today we will expand on the third principle, responsibility, and the unique relationship responsibility carries, the unique equation it carries to construct the reality of your choice. Let me define responsibility once more. Please listen. I am defining responsibility. Living and responding means thinking, feeling, acting, cognizing to life from the truth that you are the source of everything. Therefore, you are responsible for all happenings inside you and around you. ध्यान से सुनिए, प्लीज लिसन। उत्तरदायित्व की परिभाषा पुनः। उत्तरदायित्व का अर्थ है जीवन को इस सत्य के साथ जीना और प्रतिक्रिया व्यक्त करना कि आपके अंदर और बाहर होने वाले सभी परिस्थितियों का मूल कारण एवं उत्तरदायी आप स्वयं है। उत्तरदायित्व का अर्थ है जीवन को इस सत्य के साथ जीना और प्रतिक्रिया व्यक्त करना कि आपके अंदर और बाहर होने वाले सभी परिस्थितियों का मूल कारण एवं उत्तरदायी आप स्वयं है। Thinking, feeling, acting, responding, cognizing from the truth you are the source of everything. Listen, I am neither talking to you some corporate values and principles, nor talking to you what some rishis have uttered in some Upanishads. I am talking to you directly which I experienced, which you have to experience. I am talking from the context of being responsible for making you responsible. Please be very clear. The person who talks as only one reason of making you responsible, I am responsible to make you experience responsibility as I experienced. Person with eye is responsible to give vision to a blind person. Person with wealth is responsible to guide poor man to wealth. Person with power is responsible to make powerless people to become powerful. Person with energy is responsible to make energyless people with energy. Person with knowledge is responsible to make ignorant people knowledgeable. If you have knowledge, the moment you have knowledge, you become responsible to make ignorant knowledgeable. If you are powerful, you become responsible to make powerless powerful. If you are wealthy, you become responsible to make poor wealthy. Listen, I am not saying distribute your wealth. If we are having 10 poor people and you distribute all your wealth to the 10 poor people, we will have 11 poor people, that's all. With you, we will have 11 poor people. One more poor person. No. I am not asking you to distribute your wealth, but take responsibility of educating them and making them rich. Anything you own, you become responsible to share it. Make it grow. Vedic tradition beautifully says, Annam bahu guruvita. Let us create and share. This is the vision statement I have given for all the Annalayas getting started all over the world. All the satsangis should know I have initiated a project of sharing food all over the world, because sharing food is Vedic culture. We are agriculture society. Vedic tradition is grain-based society, grain-based civilization. So sharing was our lifestyle. That is why no ritual, no festival, no celebration is complete in Indian tradition without sharing food. Annam bahu guruvita. When you own, you become responsible to make everyone own. Because I own responsibility, I own the responsibility of making everyone own the responsibility. मैं कोई कारपोरेट सिद्धांत को के बारे में नहीं बात करा है ना हो, ना कि कोई ऋषि मुनि के कहे हुए वाक्य को पुनः के रहा हूं. मैं अपनी स्वयं की अनुभव के साथ इस सत्य के बारे में आपको बता रहा हूं. There are only two types of human beings on the planet Earth who feel responsible for everything, who don't feel responsible for anything. There are only two types of human beings. Listen. People who feel responsible become leaders. People who don't feel responsible continue to be slaves. There are some people don't feel responsible even for their own actions because they forgot their action is going to bring this result. Many times, even when they plan for business, they only plan if it fails, whom they will hold responsible. They don't plan to make it successful. Holding somebody responsible is not going to solve your problem. Plan for success. Don't do, when you plan itself, if you get an idea, if this fails, what to do? Immediately you think, I'll hold him responsible. But you holding him responsible is not going to bring you success. While that thought comes, I'll hold him responsible, cut it. Holding anybody responsible is not going to solve the issue. See to it he is educated to make things successful. Listen. How many of you cognize? Listen. How many of you cognize what I am saying, that when you plan many times in your mind, if you think you can hold somebody responsible, you think you have planned perfectly. Raise your hand. You are wrong. Holding somebody responsible is not going to make the work happen. Listen. Work not done plus valid reason is not equivalent to work done. Work not done plus valid reason is not equivalent to work done. Work done is only equivalent to work done. Anything else is not equivalent to work done. There are some people who work, the only thing they know how to manipulate the boss, that's all. How to answer the boss, how to manipulate the boss, how to stop the boss pushing him, that's all. With that only one thing, they spend their whole life and retire also. Of course, the day they join the work and the day they learn this art of not allowing anybody to make them feel responsible, they are retired. Retirement does not happen. It is not decided based on the day you stop going to the office. It is based on the day you stop taking responsibility. शक्तिशाली व्यक्ति जिम्मेदार है, शक्तिहीन लोगों को शक्तिशाली बनाने के लिए धनवान व्यक्ति जिम्मेदार है निर्धन को धनवान स्थिति में लाने के लिए, वैसे ही ज्ञानी का उत्तरदायित्व है अज्ञान लोगों को ज्ञान का मार्ग दिखाना। आप जो भी चीज के मालिक हैं, उस चीज को सबके साथ बांटना आपका उत्तरदायित्व है। You become responsible to make everyone responsible. Listen, there are some category who don't take responsibility even for the actions they do or they are supposed to do, even for their own existence, because the actions they did not visualize the results are going to come this way. They don't take responsibility even for their own actions. Second, there are few people who take responsibility for their action. People who don't take responsibility even for their own action remain as slave forever. People who take responsibility for their action live as human beings, a middle class life, one house, one car, one wife, 2 kids, maybe one affair somewhere. A middle class life, what I call neo-middle class, happening in India. Life lived as mediocre, middle level, is not going to be fulfilling. There is another one class. People who take responsibility even for others' actions. When you take responsibility even for others' actions, others' irresponsibility, you become leader. Even if you are not reason for certain happening, if it is affecting you, only if you take the responsibility you will solve it. I'll tell you from my own experience. All the attack, persecution done on me is done by the group of atheists. I am not responsible for the atheism spreading. 30 years before my birth, it has started spreading in Tamil Nadu. I am not directly reason, but I am going to take the responsibility to eradicate it, because it is affecting my life. Listen, I am not reason for atheism spreading, but because it is affecting my life and my mission, now I am responsible to eradicate it. Only when I take responsibility, even for others' action, I'll be able to solve the problem from the root, at the root level. Whatever may be disturbing you and your life's mission, ध्यान से सुनिए, whatever may be disturbing you and your life's mission, even if you are not reason, you are responsible. Listen. Being a reason is different. Being responsible is different. Many times, even if you are not directly reason, only when you take the responsibility, it is solved. Leaders are created with a DNA of responsibility. Responsibility is the software for leaders' inner space. कार्य का संपन्न ना होना और उसके लिए वैध कारण होना कार्य के संपन्न होने के बराबर नहीं है. धरती पर केवल तो तारे के प्राणी हैं, एक जो हर चीज के लिए स्वयं को जिम्मेदार मानते हैं और दूसरों व लोग जो स्वयं को किसी चीज के लिए भी जिम्मेदारी नहीं मानते हैं. जब आप अपने जीवन के परिस्थितियों के लिए उत्तरदायित्व नहीं लेते हैं, तब आप एक गुलाम बनकर जीते हैं. जब आप स्वयं के परिस्थितियों के लिए उत्तरदायित्व लेते हैं, तब आप एक साधारण मानव की तरह जीते हैं. और जब आप स्वयं के साथ अन्य लोगों की परिस्थितियों बुनते हैं और ईश्वरत्व की स्थिति का अनुभव कर सकते हैं. ध्यान से सुनिए, अन्य लोगों की परिस्थितियों का भी उत्तरदायित्व लेते हैं, तब आप नेता बनते हैं और ईश्वरत्व की स्थिति का अनुभव कर सकते हैं. Again, I wanted to remind you, if an egg is broken from outside, a life is destroyed. It's the end of the life. Life is killed. If an egg is broken from inside, life is happening. A life starts. If the egg is broken from outside, life ends. If the egg is broken from inside, life starts. If your cognition is broken from outside, you shrink, demolish yourself, destroy, fall into depression. It happens if you are irresponsible. If you stand with responsibility, egg breaks from inside, life starts. एक नेता का सृजन केवल जिम्मेदारी के साथ ही होता है. Not only take responsibility for your actions, take responsibility for everything which affects your life, even if it is others' actions. Only when you feel, when you decide you are responsible, you will even look into the direction of solving the problem. Only then you will solve the problem. Till then, you will be just blaming, he is responsible, he is responsible, he is responsible, he is responsible. All right. Blaming each one is responsible is not going to get you successful. Maybe you can manage your boss, saying, he is responsible, he is responsible, he is responsible. Why we don't take responsibility? First step in our life, if you are receiving 10,000 rupees salary from your office, you think, for the 10,000 I am taking already enough responsibility. Why should I take more responsibility when they are paying only 10,000 to me? Don't be foolish. Taking responsibility is first going to help you to live an expanded life. It is not the favor you are doing for your boss. Listen, first thing you need to understand, the 10,000 which is paid is not equivalent to you and your service. Second, you need to understand, by you not taking the responsibility, you are not destroying your boss's possibility, you are destroying your possibility. It is like you destroy your possibility and you think your boss will be suffering. You drink poison, you expect your boss to die. When you don't take responsibility, you destroy your possibility. First, decide you are going to be in your peak possibility by constantly taking responsibility. Taking responsibility is the right mental setup. It is not that you are doing some favor to somebody by taking responsibility. By taking responsibility, you are doing favor to yourself. It is the greatest favor you do to you. When you break that pattern, why should I take the responsibility? Your life starts. When you build the pattern, why should I take the responsibility? Your death starts. When you stop taking responsibility, even if you are alive, you are not living. You are waiting to be buried. पुनः सुनिए, अगर अंधा बाहर से टूटता है, वह मृत्यु प्राप्त कर लेता है, और जब वह अंडा अंदर से टूटता है तब वह जीवन को प्राप्त कर लेता है। केवल जब मुर्गी उत्तरदायित्व लेता है तब वह अंडा जीवन का रूप लेता है। केवल उत्तरदायित्व लेने से ही आप आपके मन चाहे वास्तविकता को जीवन के रूप में अनुभव कर सकते हैं। जो कुछ भी आपके जीवन और जीवन के उद्देश्य की सफलता में बाधा डालता है, भले ही आप उसके लिए कारण रूप नहीं है, फिर भी आप स्वयं उसके लिए जिम्मेदार है। Unless you feel you are responsible, you will never look into solving any issue. Cognitive shift. Unless the cognitive shift happens in you, I am responsible for everything. Nothing is possible. Listen. Let the cognitive shift happen in you. Let you understand, I am responsible for everything. Person who does not feel he is responsible for anything lives as slave. Person who feels responsible for money becomes Vaishya. Person who feels responsible for weapon becomes Kshatriya. Person who feels responsible for knowledge becomes Brahmana. Person who feels responsible for the whole world becomes sannyasi. Sannyasi is not a person who does not feel responsible. He is not outfit of the society. He is the overfit of the society. आपको कोई भी समस्या का समाधान तभी प्राप्त हो सकती है जब आप इस मनोभावना के साथ जिए कि आपके जीवन में हो रहे हर संघर्ष के लिए आप स्वयं उत्तरदायी है. When you feel you are responsible, I tell you, even your body will be ready to be healed, not just mind. When you feel responsible, your mind will be already healed, body will be ready to be healed. Even the society will change its attitude towards you. The people with whom you live, they will change their attitude towards you. Listen. Whole world is a hologramic structure. Universe is a hologramic structure. What is there in the macrocosm is there in the microcosm. If you have seen hologram, what is the largest picture? For example, if there is a 10 meter by 10 meter hologram, if there is a picture, photograph, even if you cut that into 10 millimeter by 10 millimeter, that same picture will be there inside that. That is what I call hologram. That is hologram. The universe functions with the principle of hologram. Means whatever is in the macrocosm, the whole universe, is there just inside your body, microcosm. If you dissect, go into a small atom, the Brahmanda will be there in that Pindanda. Whatever is there in the Pindanda is there in the Brahmanda. Cosmos functions with the principle of hologram. Responsibility is the DNA which awakens the cosmic hologram in you. Macrocosmic hologram in microcosmic body. If you want to experience the macrocosmic hologram in the microcosm, awaken responsibility. When you feel responsible, your whole life changes. पूरा ब्रह्मांड एक होलोग्राम छाया है. आप उस छाया की कोई भी भाग को निकाल कर देखें तो आप देखेंगे कि वह भाग उस पूर्ण छाये की प्रतिबिंब है. Macrocosm and microcosm is just mirroring each other's possibility. इसी तरह आप भी पूरे ब्रह्मांड की एक अनोखा छाया है. केवल जिम्मेदारी से ही आपको यह अनुभव होगा. When you feel the responsibility for existence, you become existence, and existence feels responsible for you. केवल जिम्मेदारी लेने से ही आपको यह अनुभव होगा कि आप पूरे ब्रह्मांड का एक प्रतिबिंब है. तभी लिसन, ध्यान से सुनिए, तभी आपको यह अनुभव होगा कि आप पूरे ब्रह्मांड के लिए उत्तरदायी है और पूरा ब्रह्मांड आपके लिए उत्तरदायी है. पहले यादें कीजिए कि आप अपनी क्षमता की चरम सीमा पर रहेंगे. जिम्मेदारी लेने से आप स्वयं पर सबसे बड़ा एहसान करते हैं. जब आप जिम्मेदारी ना लेने की मनोवृत्ति को तोड़ देते हैं, आपका जीवन आरंभ होता है। जब आप यह मनोवृत्ति को बनाते हैं, आपकी मृत्यु आरंभ होती है। जब तक आप स्वयं को जिम्मेदार होने का अनुभव नहीं करेंगे, आप कभी भी कोई भी मसले को सुलझाने के लिए प्रयत्न नहीं करेंगे। मसले को सुलझाने के लिए प्रयत्न नहीं करेंगे। केवल जिम्मेदारी लेने से ही आपको यह अनुभव होगा कि आप पूरे ब्रह्मांड का एक प्रतिबिंब है। तभी आपको यह अनुभव होगा कि आप पूरे ब्रह्मांड के लिए उत्तरदायी है और पूरा ब्रह्मांड आपके लिए उत्तरदायी है। If you feel you are poor, take responsibility to it. If you feel you are sick, take responsibility to it. If you feel you are not having right relationship in the life, take responsibility for it. If you feel you are not in the right space, take responsibility for it. If you feel you are not in the right place, take responsibility for it. Take responsibility for everything continuously. केवल जिम्मेदारी लेने से ही आपको यह अनुभव होगा कि आप पूरे ब्रह्मांड का एक प्रतिबिंब है। तभी आपको यह अनुभव होगा कि आप पूरे ब्रह्मांड के लिए उत्तरदायी है और पूरा ब्रह्मांड आपके लिए उत्तरदायी है। I have seen some people shivering in front of responsibility. Responsibility is not death which has come to take away your life, is Yama to come to make you enlightened. Be authentic like Nachiketa. Death will be Yama to make you enlightened. Constantly feeling, go on feeling responsible, 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 responsible. Go on feeling responsible, responsible, responsible for everything. When you feel responsible, your inner space will find solution for it. Find solution for it. When you feel responsible, your inner space will find responsible for it. अगर आपको लगता है कि आप सही जगह या स्थिति में नहीं है, तो उस जगह को परिवर्तित करने के लिए आप उत्तरदायित्व लीजिए। तब आप यह देखेंगे कि आपके सामने कोई भी संघर्ष या समस्या ज्यादा समय तक जीवित रख नहीं पाएगा। Responsibility makes your ordinary desire to the ultimate space of desirelessness as reality in your life. Your ordinary desire to have a good meal tomorrow, to your desire to be in desireless space of enlightenment forever. Everything becomes reality, is realized when you take responsibility. Responsibility is not cognitive shift. Daya, sit up. It is just new cognition itself. With responsibility, the new life, new possibility happens to you. New being happens to you. With everything you became new person. So naturally, everything responds to you as new person. Responsibility is a universal value. As an individual, for you to flourish in your life, or as a family, to be a stable family, or as a team, to deliver what you have to deliver, or as a community, to be supporting each other in every level. Responsibility. I tell you, when you serve teaching responsibility, you become leader. I have seen many people serve their whole life but never become leader. लगातार स्वयं को जिम्मेदार 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 महसूस कीजिए. जब आप स्वयं को जिम्मेदार अनुभव करते हैं, आपका अंतर आकाश समाधान खोज लेता है. आपका अंतर आकाश इसके लिए जिम्मेदार हो जाते हैं, जाता है. I started feeling responsible at the age of 11. There was a religious riot in Tiruvannamalai much before my birth. One day, one cricket match was happening. Of course, when I was 11-year-old boy, those days radio was very popular. So in one match, I was never interested in the cricket from the beginning. In one cricket match, India lost, Pakistan won. One of my classmates, Muslim boy, he was jumping and enjoying, celebrating it. So my maths teacher told that boy, hey, India is your country. You should not celebrate the loss of India. But that boy was telling, no, my people taught me Pakistan is our country. So he was celebrating. I was seeing this conversation, I could not understand. As an 11-year-old boy, I do not know what is Pakistan, what is India first of all. And what is cricket also I do not know. But this maths teacher is kind of a close friend to me. I asked him, what is happening? Why are you telling that boy what you are telling? He was my friend. We used to play together. In those days, the Indian villages never had this problem of different religion and all that. It was like a one family, one society. So I was asking the teacher why you are telling what you are telling. Then the teacher explained to me that this is India, that is Pakistan, and our country lost in the cricket, and he should not be celebrating for it, but he is celebrating because enemy country won. I was only bothered about only one thing. I asked him immediately, if our country lost means, will they take away our temple? That's all is the first thing I asked. He said, no, no, no. It is only cricket match. We will not lose Arunachaleshwara temple because that was my life. I did not bother about what is India, what is Pakistan, what is cricket. I only know one thing in my life, very important, is that Arunachaleshwara temple, where whole day I play and where I live. Will they take away our temple? That's all I asked. He said, no, 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 don't worry. The temple will not be taken away. The temple will be continue to be with us. Then I was not interested in anything. I left it. Then I said, all right, then I don't care. You go. And I went away. After a few days, in some other situation, he was explaining that to few of us who go to his house for tuition and all that. So he was explaining. That time he said, there was a riot in our place long before. Two religious people attacked each other and killed each other. It was a Ganesh Chaturthi festival. Then, first time I was budding in responsibility. I asked him, what can we do that this should never happen again? He said, we should organize programs, festivals, functions, and we should invite them and we should go to their function. I said, yes, I'll do. And first time in my life, I organized one Ganesh Chaturthi and called some of my Muslim friends and celebrated. And then I went to the local mosque. After they finish their chanting, they will come and blow through the mouth and bless the visitors. In villages still it is there. Once they finish their Quran chanting, they will come out and blow the air by chanting Quran. So I went to attend that ritual. I tell you, after I decided to take the responsibility, even idea about me changed for myself. What I was feeling about me to me itself has changed. I was a different person. I tell you, this incident I'll say as more important for my happening than my spending time with Arunagiri Yogeshwara. Listen. Listen the statement I am making. I'll say this incident is more responsible for my happening. Because Arunagiri Yogeshwara, anyhow it would have happened. To realize who I am is not a big thing. But to take the responsibility for who I am is the real thing. Realizing who I am is not the real thing. Taking responsibility for who I am is the real thing. उत्तरदायित्व आपकी साधारण वास्तविकता जैसी कोई मन चाहा खाने को प्राप्त करना उस स्थिति से लेकर आपकी सर्वश्रेष्ठ वास्तविकता जो हर इच्छा से परे रहने का स्थिति है, उस स्थिति में आपको परिवर्तित करता है. My experience with Arunagiri Yogeshwara was only the realization of who I am. But this incident is taking responsibility for who I am. That was the first function I organized. I went around and collected money from all my pre-monastic family, friends, even in the street, went and called the local VIPs as a guest, the temple EVO, officers, and organized pandal, garlands, decoration items. I myself decorated with a few disciples, and all the music instruments, aarti vessels. I think almost all department I started that day. Publication department, spreading department, temple, sacred arts, almost all departments I started at the age of 11. What we are doing as Sangha now, I started doing at the age of 11. I tell you, from that time, I was just continuously expanding. Life was just expanding. Nothing but expanding. केवल उत्तरदायित्व ही आपको आपके उच्चतम क्षमता में स्थापित करता है। केवल उत्तरदायित्व ही आपके जीवन को लगातार विस्तारित करता है। If you are a housewife, take responsibility of that. If you are working, take responsibility for that. If you are a father, take responsibility for that. If you are a student, take responsibility for that. If you are a son, take responsibility for that. Whatever dimensions you have in your life, take responsibility for everything. जब आप जिम्मेदारी लेने का फैसला करते हैं, स्वयं के बारे में आपकी धारणा बदल जाती है। केवल उत्तरदायित्व ही आपको आपके उच्चतम क्षमता में स्थापित करता है। केवल उत्तरदायित्व ही आपके जीवन को लगातार विस्तारित करता है। इसीलिए आपके अंदर एवं बाहर होने वाले हर चीज के लिए उत्तरदायित्व लीजिए। अगर आप एक पिता है तब उसके लिए उत्तरदायित्व लीजिए। अगर आप एक पत्नी है तब उसके लिए उत्तरदायित्व लीजिए। हर चीज के लिए लगातार उत्तरदायित्व लीजिए। जब आप जिम्मेदारी लेने का निर्णय करते हैं, स्वयं के बारे में आपकी धारणा परिवर्तित हो जाती है। आपकी धारणा परिवर्तित हो जाती है। Unless you experience the ultimate, you experience the reality, your life is not going to end. You are not going to feel the fulfillment. You are not going to experience completion. Ultimate will happen only when you take responsibility. Only when you become responsible. Only when you become responsible, the ultimate happens. Let you know very clearly. Unless you take responsibility, nothing in your life will be solved. When you take responsibility, everything in your life will start happening as you want. You will create the reality of your choice. केवल जब उत्तरदायित्व के साथ आप अपनी उच्चतम स्थिति में रहकर जीते हैं, तभी आप अपने का असली वास्तविकता से आपकी परिचय होते हैं। अपने जीवन का असली वास्तविकता से आपकी परिचय होते हैं। ध्यान से सुनिए। केवल जब उत्तरदायित्व के साथ आप अपनी उच्चतम स्थिति में रहकर जीते हैं, तभी आप अपने जीवन का असली वास्तविकता से आपकी परिचय होती है। It is responsibility which makes you experience you are a being. Only responsibility makes you experience your possibility. Responsibility makes you experience everything you want in your life. Responsibility makes you experience the choice of your reality. आज की सत्संग का सारांश है, The essence of today's satsang, responsibility only can make you experience your choice of reality. Responsibility makes you experience the highest possibility. Responsibility makes you experience highest reality. केवल उत्तरदायित्व से ही आप अपने उच्चतम क्षमता में जी सकते हैं और अपनी इच्छा अनुसार वास्तविकता का सृजन एवं अनुभव कर सकते हैं। इसलिए लगातार अपने अंदर एवं बाहर होने वाले हर चीज के लिए उत्तरदायित्व लीजिए।
जीवन मुक्तिप्रदं देवं क्षमापूर्णं जगद्गुरुं वन्दे परमहंसाख्यं नित्यानन्दाय स्वागतम्। आनन्दानुभवास्वादं सर्वरोगनिवारकं वन्दे पापविनाशक्तं नित्यानन्दाय स्वागतम्। आनन्दानुभवास्वादं सर्वरोगनिवारकं वन्दे पापविनाशक्तं